It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Hey, good morning and welcome to the Friday Travel and Cruise Industry News Podcast. On this, the 29th day of December. This is episode number 252 for the year. Probably the last show of the year, unless something major happens Saturday or Sunday. But it's been a pretty good year for us. Today's headlines, again, not a whole lot of news. Massive wave hits California. Temporary homeless shelter on a ship. P&O Ventura delayed. A rough go for Sapphire Princess in Antarctica. The Costa Serena comes to the rescue. The best port and the best ship awards and a lot more live at 11 o'clock this morning. Today, folks, is National Pepper Pot Day. Some of you may not know what that is. It's kind of a soup. I like a pepper pot. It's kind of a veggie type soup. I think it can have some beef in it, maybe. But yeah, I'm okay with that, especially a little colder like it is today. And weather-wise here, we're down, it got down in the upper 30s last night, so it's much more seasonal today. It's only going to get up in the mid 40s. Then we're going to have a couple of nights of actually really cold. By the way, good morning, Katie. Good morning, Kenneth, Mike. Hi there, Tom, Steve. Glad to have all you guys in the house. If you're listening via the podcast, you can always access the podcast via my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcasts from, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Stitcher, Pandora, Google Podcasts, any of them. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. There's always a link in the description of the podcast in case you want to jump over to the video feed. Just click on the link, and it'll take you over to the video feed. So, anyway, don't forget, folks, April the 8th, the MSC Magnifica, the first cruise with Chillie. It's on the blog, so feel free to go over there and look for it, and feel free to join us. It's really moderately to cheaply priced with a nice package, so it's pretty good deal. 4-day cruise. You can there's an option to add 3 on to make it a 7-nighter, but it's a good deal. Today it's 10 T minus 66 now. We're 66 subscribers away from the 5,000 mark. So if you have not already, please take this as my invitation to smash that subscribe button. The bell notification notifies you when a new video is up or I go live. And also, I'll help the channel out a bunch. Doesn't cost anything. All right. The top news story today, folks, comes out of California, and this was really weird. A rogue wave, pretty good sized wave, hit California yesterday. Beachgoers were slammed by a massive rogue wave in Ventura, California. The incident happened as locals were being warned about a massive swell pounding the southern California coast this week. The rogue wave submerged bystanders at Pierpont Beach on Seaward Avenue around 11 a.m. That area has been hit the hardest with what the National Weather Service called tremendous wave energy. The raging waters destroyed windows of nearby beachfront buildings and hotels on its destructive path. Both people and vehicles were instantly swept away. 9 people were rushed to the hospitals. Witnesses said several victims suffered broken bones. 2 of the victims remain in critical condition as of last evening. Warnings of dangerous high surf and flooding are highest for Ventura County, along with Hermosa, Manhattan, and Palos Verdes beaches, according to the National Weather Service. Waves of 10 to 15 feet with sets to 20 feet are expected during the Ventura County, along the Ventura County coast. A high surf warning and coastal flood warning are in effect until Saturday evening. So, a lot of wave action in California. And folks, heed the National Weather Service warnings. Don't be stupid and go out there and try to surf on these waves. Man, first thing I saw yesterday was a picture of one of these humongous waves, somebody surfing on it. It's just not the time to surf when a huge wave is going to wipe away part of a city. I don't know. That's just me. All right, I'll be back with a couple more news stories after a quick break from one of our network sponsors. And the next story this morning, guys, comes to us from the other side of the pond. The French government has collaborated with a nonprofit organization to transform the MS Bordeaux cruise ship into a temporary shelter for homeless individuals. As the winter season approaches, up to 100 people can now find a safe and warm place to stay on the ship. The program has increased the number of temporary accommodations spots available in Bordeaux by 36% compared to 2017, according to local authorities. The ship is open for guests from 4:30 p.m. until 8:30 a.m. and offers meals and private or shared cabins for overnights. During the day, the rooms are cleaned and maintained, so no guests will be allowed on board while that's happening. All right, it's a good little program there in Bordeaux. All right, and the next story today, why did it do that? I don't know. All right, the next story today. You know, folks, I'm always staying confused. The P&O's Ventura was delayed. Guests will be boarding the Ventura later today than was originally planned after an outbreak of gastrointestinal illness on board this last cruise. It's led to the need for a more thorough deep cleaning and disinfection, standard procedure to mitigate transmission of any illness, but does delay embarkation for the ship's next sailing as a precautionary measure. Guests were asked to report 2 hours later than published a time for everyone. All right. Another ship that's having some problems out there. It's, one of my favorite ships, Sapphire Princess, a once-in-a-lifetime Antarctica cruise aboard the Princess Cruise Line Sapphire Princess, has had multiple disruptions, including a canceled port visit and rough weather, along with internet outages impacting how guests can stay in touch with family and friends back home during the holidays. These disruptions are not uncommon to these types of voyages, but certainly make it a different type of sailing than what most passengers expect for a cruise vacation. Sapphire Princess was not able to make their scheduled call in Ushuaia, Argentina, due to rough weather that closed the port on Christmas Eve. The rough weather expected to continue and impact the ship's crossing through the infamous Drake Passage. So, rough time for Sapphire. They did sail her to get away from the rough seas, to get on the leeward side of these islands, and it calmed things out some. But it's still been a pretty rough cruise for these guys. All right, to go over from the Costa line, Costa Serena was peacefully cruising the Arabian Sea as part of the first international cruise program from India in years. While sailing between Mumbai and Cochin, this cruise ship added a remarkable distinction to the record by undertaking a rescue mission to aid a group of stranded fishermen far out at sea. A call from vigilant passengers on the ship's balcony reported sightings of individuals in life jackets in the distance, acting swiftly under the command of Captain Andrea Bardi. Serena make sure I say that right for Dennis, altered her course and reduced speed to initiate a search and rescue operation, maneuvering the massive 950-foot long cruise ship. The crew located the stranded fishermen a mile off the intended route. The captain positioned the ship, confirming the ship's identity and that the fishermen were in distress. And a couple more awards from the Cruise Hive Awards. These are not unexpected, I guess would be the best way of saying it, but I have issues with one of them. The best cruise port for the year was Port Canaveral. Okay, I'm not going to dispute that. As a matter of fact, I've sailed out of Port Canaveral this year a couple times, and I see that it has improved considerably over the last time I'd sailed out of there. So, yes, it was much better. I have no problem at all with that designation. The best ship for the year, the award goes to Carnival Jubilee. How can you know if this Carnival Jubilee is the best ship of the year when it's only been out 2 days? No. I mean, you got to have some time. We got to have some people sail on the Carnival Jubilee to decide that that's a great cruise ship and the best cruise ship of the year. I mean, I have no problem with naming it, but I think you got to have some time to prove that it's good. I mean, what if the roller coaster doesn't work? What if the food's not near as good as they talk about? What if? There's all kinds of excuses. It just seems a little early to me to be naming a ship the best of the year when it sailed for, 6 minutes. What can I say? All right, let's go see. No, I don't want to take it out of there. Let's go see who's in the chat room, confused and raising hell with me. Probably plenty of you. Let's see. Cindy's also with us. Hi, Cindy. Emily's here. My whoopie pies have arrived. Excellent. Anyway, don't eat all of them at one time, Em. Katie is, of course, she's at home this week. Has the dryer gotten there yet, Katie? And if it has, are you doing laundry already? Emily says, hello. Of course, everybody's talking back and forth. Hot Air Tom says, sounds like Carnival made the same dollar payments to someone. Well, yeah, well, that's possible. There's Kenneth up in Pennsylvania. Everyone have a great new year. I agree, Kenneth. And I'd say the same thing to each one of you guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful new year. Oh, Katie says it arrives at 4 o'clock. So she's still got a house full of dirty clothes to do when the new dryer comes. She probably doesn't, but I'm just saying that. And by the way, folks, if you heard any noises in the background here, I have HVAC people here today. They're cleaning the system because we discovered some mold. And they traced the mold back to the HVAC system. So they're in now to clean all that crap out up in the bowels of the house. So a little bit of noise in the background, but that's okay. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for the year unless something major happens. Of course, if it does, I will be here. If it doesn't, I hope to see everybody on Monday. I will do a show Monday, even though it's a holiday. I will do a show and then promptly probably take a nap. But anyway, all right, guys. And again, Happy New Year's to each one of you. Have a wonderful New Year's Eve and a New Year's Day celebration. And I hope to see you on New Year's Day. All right, guys, that's it for today. As always, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising, and hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas. You guys have a great day. See you Monday, if not before then. Later, y'all.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry, so if you'd like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chilliescruises.